Welcome back to another episode of Rassie's Adventures. Today we're going to hear about the Great Fence Repair. The farm is a place of endless tasks, a living, breathing entity that always demands attention and care. This week, the most pressing matter was the fence, a section of the main perimeter fence, crucial for the safety of Oom Kerneels' livestock. It had been severely damaged by a massive tree branch that fell on it during a recent heavy storm, fierce storm that they had on the farm. The broken wood lay like a giant splintered bone across the wire, creating a gaping hole that Oom Kerneels frowned every time he saw it and passed by it. Oom Kerneels had explained the gravity of the situation at breakfast that morning, his voice serious while he was buttering his toast. "That fence, Rassie," he had said, pointing with his knife towards the damaged section visible from the kitchen window. "That fence, it's more than just a line in the sand, Rassie. It keeps our cows and goats and sheep safely in their pastures. And it keeps the wild animals like jackals and even sometimes warthogs safely out. It's a big job, a very important one." And he paused, looking at Rassie with a warm, expectant glint in his eye. "I'm going to need your help." Rassie felt a thrill shoot through him, a thrill of pride, making his chest puff out a little. This wasn't just a small chore like feeding the chickens or gathering eggs. This was real important work, the kind of work that truly make a difference on the farm. He nodded eagerly, yes, already imagining himself as a strong, capable fence builder. The first task was to remove the fallen branch, which was heavier than it looked. Rassie and Oom Kerneels worked together, pushing and pulling, grunting with effort, until it finally rolled away, leaving behind a clear but still damaged section of the fence line. Then Oom Kerneels showed him how to use the post-hole digger. It looked like a giant pair of tongs with a sharp spoon-like ends. "This, my boy," he said, "is how we make homes for the new fence poles," demonstrating how to plunge it into the earth, twist it, and pull up a scoop of soil. The work was much, much harder than it looked. The ground was hard and dusty, baked solid by weeks of sun, and with every plunge and turn of the tool, poor Rassie's arms ached. He leaned his whole body into it, gritting his teeth, feeling the sweat trickle down his back. After a few holes, he was breathing very heavily already, his hands also already starting to sting. But Oom Kerneels, noticing his flagging energy, encouraged him with a steady, kind voice. "A good fence," Oom Kerneels said, wiping his brow with the back of his hand, "is built on a strong foundation. The hard work you do now, digging these deep, sturdy holes, will make the whole thing last for years and years. It's like building a good character, Rassie. The effort you put in today makes you stronger tomorrow." Rassie, inspired by his dad's words, worked with all his might. He dug holes for the new fence poles, learning to aim straight and dig deep. He then learned how to use a spirit level, a small tool with a bubble in it, to make sure the poles were perfectly straight before they secured them. If a pole is crooked, Oom Kerneels explained, the whole fence will look like it's been dancing after too much peach jam. After the poles were set, Oom Kerneels showed him how to stretch the wire. This was a critical step. He used a special complicated tool that looked like a giant pair of pliers to pull the wire incredibly tight between the posts. You have to pull it as tight as a drum skin, Rassie. Otherwise, the cows will think it's a jumping rope. He chuckled. Rassie watched fascinated as his dad strained, muscles bulging to get the wire perfectly taut. Then, with a sturdy hammer, Oom Kerneels secured the wire to the wooden posts with sharp U-shaped staples so that the wire couldn't slack down again. Rassie was given the very important job of handing Oom Kerneels the long coiled wire and the small fiddly staples. He had to be quick and precise, always making sure his hands were out of the way when Oom Kerneels swung the hammer. It was like a well-choreographed dance between the two of them, with Oom Kerneels guiding him and Rassie following his instructions perfectly. The work was long and tiring. The sun beat down on them from a cloudless sky that day, and Rassie's hands were covered in dust, speckled with a few small tender blisters. He was working hard. But as they worked, a companionable silence. Companionable means friendly and together. A companionable silence often settled between them, broken only by the clang of the hammer and the whir of insects. Sometimes Oom Kerneels would fill the silence with stories about the farm, tales of his own childhood and his father and of his grandfather. He spoke of how every generation of their family had worked to build and maintain the land, adding their own strength and love to its rich history. Rassie listened, picturing his ancestors under the sun, working, building fences, tilling soil, and dreaming dreams. Suddenly, a loud squawking "caw, caw, caw" echoed from a nearby tree. Rassie jumped, nearly dropping a handful of staples. He looked up, expecting to see a very large, very angry crow. Instead, there was their old friend, the fork-tailed Drongo, perched on a branch, its black feathers shimmering in the sunlight. Oom Kerneels let out a booming laugh. "That Drongo! He thinks he's a scarecrow now. He must have seen you and Temba building the scarecrow, and you two working so hard on it, and he wants to join the team." But then the Drongo didn't stop at just cawing. It flapped its wings and puffed out its chest and let out a series of truly bizarre noises. Firstly, it sounded exactly like a rusty gate squeaking open, the one that it learned the previous day from Rassie. Then it made a noise like a cat trying to sneeze and purr at the same time. This was followed by a sound of a leaky tap dripping on a metal bucket. And then, to Rassie's utter astonishment, it made a sound exactly like Jock barking. But as if Jock had inhaled a balloon full of helium. "Weef, weef, weef." It squeaked, a high-pitched, ridiculous sound that made both Rassie and Oom Kerneels burst into laughter. Rassie laughed so hard he nearly fell over. "Dad, it sounds like Jock after eating a whole plate of fizzy sweets." Oom Kerneels wiped tears of laughter from his eyes. That bird, it's trying to confuse us with its silly noises, Rassie. Probably thinks we'll drop our tools and run away so it can steal our lunch. The drongo, as if encouraged by their laughter, then performed its grand finale. It perfectly mimicked Oom Kerneels' loud, booming laugh, but again with a slightly higher, more squeaky tone, making it sound like a giant happy chipmunk. Oh, this is so funny. I would have loved to hear it. It was so unexpected and absurd that Rassie and Oom Kerneels had to lean against the fence poles that they've just set, holding their sides, their serious work completely and temporarily forgotten in a fit of giggles. The drongo then gave them one last triumphant quaw and flew off, leaving them both shaking with laughter. Well, Kerneels finally managed to say, catching his breath, I suppose even fence repair needs a little bit of comedy. They eventually got back to work, their spirits lifted. Finally, as the sun began to dip towards the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, they hammered in the very last staple. They stood back, side by side, and looked at the new section of fence. It was strong and straight, a testament to their hard work, blending seamlessly with the old. It looked perfect when Kerneels patted Rassie on the shoulder, a proud smile on his face. Look at that, my boy, he said, his voice filled with a genuine warmth. You helped build that, and you did a fine job, a really fine job. Rassie's chest swelled with a deep, satisfying pride. He hadn't just helped, he had been a vital part of something important. Something that would keep the farm running smoothly and safely. He had learned that the value of a hard day's work and the profound satisfaction of seeing your own work as a job well done. He also learned that taking pride in your work, understanding the importance of maintenance, and embracing responsibility were key to keeping the farm and indeed life itself running smoothly. He knew that every time he looked at that fence, strong and straight against the African sky, he would remember his aching arms, the dusty hands, the blisters, and the shared laughter with his dad, and all the valuable lessons he had learned that day. It wasn't just a fence. It was a memory. Fluit, fluit, my story is uit.